Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the XLNC Midweight Testing Grounds. My name is Fennec. Joining me on the analyst desk today is Jakumi, and we're getting prepared for the second game of the night. But before that, a little bit of analysis of the first game between Red Panda and the one and only Ironic. So how do we feel after that last game?
Well, being on that caster desk, it was kind of an interesting game to watch because seeing blue side having their kind of scaling, rushing the enemy team down comp with both the Kassadin and the Karthus, and as the pretty scaling ones, and the in the game Braum and Riven running people down, with Ezreal doing his AD Ezreal things.
Yeah, comp was definitely something that I think I definitely more of a, I hate to say draft difference, but it feels almost like that kind of thing. You had a Malzahar counterpick into the Kassadin when Galio was banned, of course, but you still had the likes of a Lissandra up to deal with the Kassadin, I think, much more effectively than the likes of the Malzahar. On top of that, you saved your last pick for Nami, which I think maybe you want to change your draft order a little bit, and I think the Kayn was a big question mark pick for me, especially when you're up against something like a Karthus, right? Where Karthus just wants to power farm. You saw that pick being picked up, and instead of picking something that can go in and really punish him, you instead blind picked this Kayn instead of waiting for him for 5th pick, and you end up getting very punished for a lot of these plays where he was playing in front of his line without the wave priority from either of his solo lanes. He got caught out a couple times, which felt a bit annoying or a bit sad, right? There was a lot of punish coming out from the side of Ironic, and, you know, definitely well played from them. Late game comp, they were basically in control the entire game. Moving on, though, kind of a standout performance for me, I think, was from Blitz. He did extremely well with a lot of these kind of mechanical Braum plays that we don't typically associate with that champion.
Yeah, it was like I was talking on stream. It's when you get that on hit solo lane Braum, and he just kind of chunks you with his Q, and then just whaps you, and then just keeps on maneuvering that champion around very, very expertly, might I add.
Yeah, and the bottom lane, there was that one 2v3 player where Yasuke got an ult off, got a double kill. The Ezreal went down. It was the Braum versus Whiskey Lion. He ended up actually doing something very smart, which was using a stand behind me to get to a minion in front of Yasuke, and was able to use that to get his Q down and proc the passive. On top of that, this Kassadin pickup worked wonders for them mid to late game, had a lot of very good rotations, did a crap ton of damage. As we take a look at the damage charts here, second most damage in the game behind the Ezreal, only about 200 behind from Mr. Snowhat on this Kassadin.
Yeah. And it's, you have to be able to, when you see that Kassadin and you can draft after that Kassadin, you need to get picks that will actively shut him down.
Yeah, and Kassadin was taken late. And once again, I think this comes down to blind picking the jungler there, when you could have blind picked the support much, or it wasn't even a blind pick support, where you could have picked the support and saved that final pick to counter the jungle from Yasuke.
Yeah, and the Shen first pick was kind of interesting to me. It might have been a comfort pick for Heart and Sword Garen, but it was blind picked and kind of didn't rub right with me.
Yeah, and also the Kassadin pick, I think, was very telegraphed. Taking the Malzahar as a counter pick as well. just doesn't sit right with me. Once again, Lysandre was available, even though Galio and Garen had both been banned away. Both of those very strong anti-assassin champions. I feel like there's more you can do there. That said, enough about that first game. Moving on to the next game of the night, it will be World Class Outlaws versus Divine Gaming Ascension. Divine Gaming Ascension currently sitting on 4 circuit points, but World Class Outlaws sits on 5. And taking a look at these champion pools for both of these teams, what do you see? What do you notice?
Let me bring up the teams.
It's all right. Let's take a little look at what everyone seems to be playing here. Taking a look towards the mid lane, because that is my lane of expertise, as it were. From the side of Divine Ascension, their mid laner is, I believe, Chris Meister. Chris Meister has been playing, let me pull this up, recently has been playing quite a bit of Zoe in ranked, as well as the occasional Cassiopeia, and a lot of ARAM in this history, but we're looking at Zoe, Corki, some Diana, a little bit of Twisted Fate as well with that hybrid build. Not hybrid build, sorry, full AP build with the Unseal Spellbook, so not going for the hybrid build, has played some Azir as well. So we're looking for a very diverse champion pool from Chris Meister in the mid lane here. From the side of Wildcard Outlaws. Meanwhile, looking at Divine Ascension in their mid lane, JDK, what do you see here?
With him, I see mostly I see a lot of Galio Silas and a bit of Zoe. A lot of kind of standard picks right now.
Yeah, Galio has been a pick up in not only solo queue but also Clash. Has been playing quite a bit of that one. Even outside of counter matchups, has picked it into Cassiopeia or Yasuo or whatever. So definitely has been building up strength on that particular champion. Of course, can take over lanes in certain matchups as we continue going down the roster list. Any other lanes to that may stick out to you from either of these teams?
Well, honestly, it's kind of a mix between. I see X Roasted that has a lot of Renekton games this year.
Yeah, and Renekton is one of those pickups where it can be very feast or famine. Not necessarily the worst pick in the world, but he has to snowball. It's not like Spear Sojin meta where you could just take him and he scales late game. Even with the new build where he goes Blade of the Ruined King into Death's Dance, he has been very much a you have to win by this 20-25 minute mark type champion. We'll see if that one gets picked up. Has to be paired with an aggressive jungler. Meanwhile, taking a look at Freshburger, who we have seen play quite a bit in the XLNC scrimmages or testing grounds, as it were, has been playing a lot of Wukong and Volibear recently. Interested to see if he decides to pick up either of those picks in this particular game,
or if they're banned away from him.
And we'll see how these picks and bans carry on throughout the night. But before we do that, we're going to hand it over to our casters to take you through the picks and bans and the rest of the game. That will be Idea, PC, and Jakumi. So take it away, Idea.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So glad to have you all here with us today. Again, I'm the Idea PC, joined by Arzakeli here on the casting desk. So glad to have you all with us here, and very excited to have game number 2 here. Again, we have World Class Outlaws matching up against Divine Ascension, and as our analyst desk had pointed out, both these teams here very, very close in the circuit points standings.
Yep, and I'm very excited to see how they match off here. Both teams have some very strong players. One I'd like to point out in particular, female support with that Lulu. She's almost got a 6-point KDA on Lulu. That's scary to me, and I kind of want to see some bans come out in that direction. We are seeing the pro draft right now. Braves himself getting banned out along with Ezreal. Just some nice meta bans right now. Not much to see here.
Absolutely. And, every time that I see the set ban in draft, I'd love to talk about how it's such a strong flex pick. So I'm glad to see that coming out from Divine Ascension Gaming. And can you believe it? The Lulu ban coming out from World Class Outlaws. Who would have known? Who would have guessed? That one does get banned away here. Miss Fortuna's going to get taken away here from the side of World Class Outlaws as well.
I like the Misfortune ban. She's fallen a little bit out of favor ever since Ezreal and Callista kind of started rising in the ranks for their usefulness against Aphelios, but Misfortune is still very powerful in her own right. Elise going to be the last of the first wave bans here, it looks like, and that is also somebody who you don't see a lot anymore, but is still extremely powerful. Excellent bans there. And we're going to see Divine lock in Olaf. Always love to see him. Olaf, the big man with the big axes and the big plan. It's going to be counterpicked by Trundle.
Absolutely. And we've seen Yoko Kurama here from the side of Divine Ascension Gaming put quite a few games here on Olaf. Has had some mixed success on the champion, 53% win rate in ranked, so it's positive. You can't knock that too much. But Olaf, just as a champion right now, extremely strong in the meta. It is a very early game-focused meta, so I'm very not surprised to see that one going through. And can you believe it? We do get the Aphelios and the Braum matchup bot lane here for the side of World Class Outlaws. They're going to be able to stack up that Braum passive pretty easily, and even from range. With the Aphelios pick as well, Kaisa is going to be the pickup here for Divine Ascension Gaming in response.
Yeah, speaking of range, we're not going that direction. We're going with Kaisa. We're just going with the massive amount of attacks that she can put out. It's still not going to match all of that 200 years. I'm a little interested in, Tarek. That's an interesting pick into Aphelios as well. Very helpful to have his ult in the team fights, making everyone just invulnerable for a couple of seconds. So maybe that's the big plan, just make sure Tarek can be somewhere where he can help in the team fights against Aphelios. But that's still an interesting response bot lane to me.
Yep, and I'm thinking, about this composition, right? You've got the Olaf there, who pretty much just wants to run straight to the Aphelios in the backline, right? But how does he do that without getting blown up by this composition, right? He's got the Unstoppable, so that answers the Braum passive. And then, you go in there, you throw down the Tarek ultimate, you got this unstoppable, unkillable death ball of an Olaf running for your Aphelios, right? So I'm kind of actually excited to see it. But I think appropriately here, we do see World Class Outlaws here picking up the Shen there, able to provide a little bit more safety for this AD carry, so not too surprised to see that. Gonna round out some of these bans here, though. We do see the Sejuani and Kazakhs, so some focus from the jungle here from Divine Ascension Gaming. We do see the Syndra Galio ban coming out here from World Class Outlaws. Both of them have some great peel to kind of be able to protect that Kaisa, so not too surprised to see those.
Yep, and after some nice jungle bans come down from Divine, Kazakh's very close to my heart. My first main all of those years ago. But it's actually going to be Kindred locked in for the side of World Class. I like Kindred into the Olaf, especially with her ability to scale. But that's going to be interesting. Zillion looks like he's going down the mid lane for Divine. I love Zillion. I don't like him as much in the mid lane. And Ornn, my favorite tanky boy, looks like he's going into the top lane. Top lane hasn't seen any bans so far. I assume that's where Shen is going now that Kindred has been picked. Ornn versus Shen, that's going to be a very boring top lane.
It absolutely is. Two big old meatballs sitting there, smacking each other, looking for grasp procs as this game continues to evolve. And the last and final pick going to be coming out here from World Class Outlaws. Okay, maybe the Nico here actually going to get picked up. It will be hovered. We have not seen a whole lot of Nico in the meta as of late, so seeing this pick may be a little bit surprising, but she has that huge pop blossom to be able to get massive amounts of damage off, so maybe actually that will be the pick here. Timer counting it down, and it will get locked in here for the side of World Class Outlaws. Taking a look at this team composition, though. I mean, you've got the Aphelios, the Braum, the Shen, the Kindred.
Yeah,
Olaf runs at you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I think your mic just cut out there. That was my mistake. But I can understand why Nico hasn't been around so much, had that maternity leave. But now that Lily is here, we'll be able to see a little bit more of Nico, I think. Absolutely. But looking at these comps, like you were saying, I like this. I like the front line from World Class a lot better than I like it from Divine. You got Shen, you got Braum. Both of these are just kind of solid like a rock. Nico can come in on the side for a nice gank. Kindred can throw down her own invincibility. We've got 2 invincible ults right now. That's going to be some fun gameplay. Aphelios on that back line. He's just going to be standing right behind Braum, blasting a Crescendum into anything that moves. Divine doesn't really have that same kind of synergy to me. They've got Ornn for a nice engage, Zillion for his nice engage, and some nice burst coming out of there as well. Kai'Sa feels kind of out of place here. I don't know. I would have preferred a Kalista here, especially with Taric. I would have preferred Misfortune, but that was banned away by the side of Divine. I'm not sure why. I would have liked to see that in this comp, but hopefully that's going to be made up for with some nice mechanics. Maybe I'm underestimating it here.
Maybe we'll have to see. It's going to really rely on the side of Divine Ascension Gaming finding themselves the perfect team fight, right? Finding the Call of the Forge God to find its way onto members, being able to fight or force different ultimates from the side of world-class outlaws in time, because they have this kind of protect the AD carry composition, right? You have the Braum, who's very, very great at being able to defend particular members with the stand behind me, giving them that extra bonus MR and armor. The Shen there obviously can go in and intercept things like the Olaf if he does not have the Ragnarok available with a taunt. And then if all of that fails, right, if you are able to get past the Braum and the Shen here, right, which is why you have this Olaf from Divine Ascension Gaming, you still have the backup assurance of Kindred's ultimate being able to come down, the Lamb's Respite, right, which gives you that invulnerability. So you can wait out the Ragnarok, you can wait out the Taric ultimate, right, that you want to stack on this Olaf to be able to run down and, you know, annihilate these carries. So it's going to be very, very difficult, I think, for Divine Ascension Gaming to actually be able to find the perfect team fight unless they're fighting when World Class does not have their ultimates.
Yeah, and that's really somewhere where we're going to have to watch out, because if either team gets off of their ultimates, I think that's going to be a good time for a team fight for their opposition. If World Class burns some ultimates, if the Pop Blossom's down, if Kindred's Respite is down, if Shen's Teleport is down, that's a good chance for Divine to engage. And same for World Class if the Taric ultimate is down. If Zillion doesn't have his revive ready for Olaf to run into the back line with, if Ornn doesn't have his horn ready to blow, then that's going to be a great opportunity for World Class to take advantage of. And right now, these both look like team fight comps to me. These look like we're going to have some amazing team fights. All of the stuff is going to come out in these team fights within the first 5 seconds, and then it's just going to be stat checking against each other. Who has the better stats? And I think in that situation, Divine slightly has the lead there.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, with the countdown ticking, tucking right on down, we're going to be getting ready to throw it on over to a break here as we get ready to load out onto Summoner's Rift here for Game 2 between Divine Ascension Gaming and World Class Outlaws. Again, I'm the Idea PC, joined by Ars Kelly here on the desk. Ladies and gentlemen, do not go anywhere. We will see you on Summoner's Rift.
Yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now. I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone. That's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you win. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside. I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside. I'm alone.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Idea PZ, joined here by Arza Kelly here on the casting desk. And we have the matchup between Divine Ascension Gaming and World Class Outlaws here, ready for you in game number 2. And, you know, me and Arza Kelly were talking about this draft, and we both have some different predictions for this game. So, you know, honestly, I'm favoring the World Class Outlaws draft here, but Arza Kelly, you have some things to say about the other draft here.
Yeah, I'm really thinking Divine on the blue side here is going to come out. Right now, it looks like we got a little bit of a sitcom situation here as both sides go full invades. This is hilarious to me. They're never going to find each other, and both sides are going to be uber confused about this. Just watching this happen, kind of from the God perspective here, it's really great.
It's just kind of a comedy show, you know. We're doing the Tour de Rift today. All the champions going every which way, but you know, just taking a look at some of these compositions, right? There are some merits, I do think, to the Divine Ascension Gaming draft. Let me be clear about that too, right? You have the late game scaling from the Ornn. You have the late game scaling of the Kaisa. You know, and then you do have the death prevention here from the Zillion as well. So there are some merits as well. Yoko Kurama on the Olaf, I think, also can have a very, very strong early game with some of these lanes. Top lane is particularly gankable. Mid lane, I think, is particularly gankable. And, you know, if he's able to get those kills successfully off early and he's able to really kind of have a strong early game, it's going to propel his late game scaling comp that they've drafted on the side of Divine Ascension Gaming to succeed in the mid game.
Yep, and already Nico is playing mind games with me. I thought it was Aphelios in the mid lane for a second, T-posing his way to victory. But no, it was Nico messing with my head. This is why I've always banned Nico.
It's the good old caster's curse, Arza Kelly.
Oh, man. It's really a funny thing to see. And so far, we're not seeing too much else in this game. We are going to see Yoko Kurama getting a lot of nice camps in the enemy jungle. They were only able to steal his red buffs, and he was able to steal theirs right back, along with a couple of camps. I love that fast clear from Olaf, really taking advantage of reels here. You'll like to see it.
Absolutely, and you know, I mean, it's Olaf doing Olaf things, exactly what his champion is designed to do. So, you know, you kind of have these two junglers, right? Kindred obviously wants to counter jungle for the marks. Olaf obviously wants to try and dominate his opponent in the jungle, and get early ganks off, things like that. So it is kind of a battle right here. It's the mind games of like, okay, I'm going to go around, I'm going to maneuver, and hopefully I find you in your jungle, but they're just going for invades on opposite sides. So it's kind of funny, right? But overall here, it was some good damage, though, coming out from Chris. Here on the mid lane here, JDK gonna have to back up there below 100 HP. Corrupting Pot gonna get him healthy enough to be able to survive, but good damage coming out here from Chris Miser on the Nico.
Yeah, and we are going to see Kindred take the Krugs there, but I think she was found while she was doing it. I think Olaf's got a pretty good idea of what just happened there, and she still didn't even get his Raptors, so like she's still gonna be behind in this little battle of the jungles here. And interestingly enough, I think Braum has already purchased himself a stopwatch. No, that's the Rune Watch. That's my bad.
Yes. Yeah, that's another one of those things that you look at for a moment and you're like, why does the Braum have a stopwatch at 4 minutes? And then you're like, oh, there's a rune. Oh.
It's Nico's fault. Again, Nico has me so tilted already. I'm mistaking things I should know.
It's the curse, Arzakeli. It's the curse. First dragon of this game, though, will end up being one of those good old ocean dragons here. So I do expect both of these teams to kind of actively fight, not only for it, but for the vision as well leading up to it. We do see that the scuttle going on over to the side of World Class Outlaws here early. We'll be able to notify them of anybody walking around that pit. You see how well warded it is. This really is, good macro and game sense here from the side of World Class Outlaws. They're warding the objective about a minute before it spawns. They're going to have control here. I do expect Kindred to path down towards the bot side here to be able to try and play for an early dragon here. They have had priority with this Aphelios Braum in the lane. But we will wait to see if that actually does come true. Kindred is deciding she's going to go up to her top side, get some camps up. She actually might be trying to fight for that mark there with the Scuttle Crab, but I do believe Olaf will just be able to pick that one right up. So overall here, just trying to take a look and assess these lanes, figure out what these junglers are going to do. They have the vision set up for Dragon. I do expect that to be on the table here, but Olaf looking top.
Yep, and really... Oh, wait, no. I think we're going to have a little bit of action here.
Yep, going on here. Real's going to get some damage here. Yoko Kurama going to steal away the Krugs. Damage, though, follow up here, and the slow's coming out. This might be a flash. Yes, there it is. Coming right on out. Fresh Burger going to be trying to get some damage here onto Roasted. The knockup going to come through. Yoko Kurama, though, coming right back. No, he does not want it. The health bar is too low. The damage coming out. The flash forward from Fresh Burger will force out Roasted's flash as well. Nico has now met on the roam. Yoko Kurama, though, looking to run down this Shen. Can he do it? Can they get the damage? The knockup coming out here, but first blood going on over to Chris Meiser. Reels going with the jump and the dash here, trying to find the damage. The flash with the Tangle Barb, not going to find its mark, but the stun there coming big. Able to get themselves a disengage, and the health bars are low. But a 1-for-0 trade in favor of World Class Outlaws.
Yeah, Divine just looked kind of confused, disoriented, a little bit distracted there. We saw the bomb go down on the Fresh Burger, but that's not really who you need to be worried about in a 3v3 like that. It's Chris Meister, it's Reels. They're the ones putting out most of the damage, and they're also the ones who are so squishy. You gotta be putting your bombs onto him. Your Olaf has to be focusing them. Instead, they chased Fresh Burger for a little while, left X Roasted to just kind of hold them off. And in the end, that one didn't work out for them. That was just, I don't know, kind of sloppy, it feels like.
Yeah, they were going, the Olaf went in there, found the Kindred on the Krugs, right, which kind of started this entire evolution. But Roasted just took so much damage, not just from the second half, I would say, of that fight, but, just trying to get out the first time. Then they had the roam from the Zillion. They felt like they could re-engage, but Chris was there. But imagine, surprise, surprise here, Ocean Dragon going on over to the side of World Class Outlaws. They have the vision control, they have the lane priority, and this is exactly what you want to see from top-tier teams. Being able to utilize their advantages on the map and be able to get neutral objectives as a result of it.
Yep, and it looks like the next Drake is going to be a Mountain Drake. That could be very helpful for Divine, especially for X Roasted if they can pick it up. But that also means we have a choice in the late game Drakes. Will we be seeing the very boring Cloud Soul, or will we be seeing the action-packed Infernal Soul opening up the map and giving so many new amazing damage opportunities to both teams here? Hopefully it's the Infernal. I don't really like Cloud. I don't think anybody does right now. But as of right now, there's no way to tell.
Absolutely. Definitely one of the lower priority dragons. I think you hit that one right on the head there, Ozakeli. But now Call of Forge going to be called out here. Shen going to get knocked up, and Olaf waiting in the wings. He has the damage. Orin Russ might get the solo. Axe not going to quite land there on a Fresh Burger. A little bit too low with the health bars there to be confident in being able to go for the dive. Fresh Burger, though, going to stick around here, trying to get some of this wave for experience. Roasted too low to really challenge him under turret there. So, he's not doing one of those classic plays where you greed for the CS under your turret and then you get tower dove and you die and it feels really, really bad when you know you should have just recalled. Not going to do that here today. Making a good assessment there from the HP bars of Roasted and Yoko there. But overall here, just taking a look at the mid lane, I do want to say relatively even so far. Both these mid laners just kind of CSing it up, farming it out. We saw some early trading going on in the mid game, or I'm sorry, in the early game there with JDK falling kind of low. But since then, it's pretty much kind of evened out with the roam that came in from Chris. Off the first blood that he was able to get topside here, though. Glacial Fissure, though, going to come out here. Female support going to get rooted up here, but the ultimate going to come down. Can it land? It will give him invulnerability for a short time. Going to be able to flash out here. The heal, though, going to come in for the follow-up. And Reels with the Lamb's Respite. Able to save herself onto the tower here. Can they find another one? But no, Kaisa able to get the trade kill here. It might just cost her her life, but Freshburger going to take the tower shot there. That is an absolute win, I would say, for the side of Divine Ascension Gaming. You commit 4 members to the tower dive and you lose 2.
And at the same time, the Rift Herald gets to be dropped up top. Yoko almost giving his life up for the opportunity to bring Shelly into this world, but he's going to also send her out very quickly. And that one felt like a little bit of a misplay from 16JP, if I'm going to be honest. He saw the ward was going down, he went up to try and punish, he didn't know that there was a full gank there ready and waiting, and he managed not only to survive but thrive under those circumstances, getting himself 2 counter kills before he was finally taken down. So a little bit of a misplay into some great mechanics there. That was really good. I want to see more of the mechanics, less of the misplay on the macro from JP.
Absolutely indeed here. Able to turn it around in their favor, though. Getting those 2 kills. I mean, I'm shocked, right? You have all these tools at your disposal to be able to prevent that from happening, but unfortunately, able to pick up kills. That will make the Kaisa feel really, really, really good. She's got the completed first half of her first item here, but look at that. You gotta hand it to Reels here. Having a stellar game here on the Kindred. Not only out farming the Olaf with that next death, we'll be able to pick up some more camps, but also out killing, out ganking as well. You really have to say that the early game is going the way of world-class outlaws here. The Kindred has her marks. We go ahead and do a little mark check for us here. She is currently sitting on 3, so just 1 more before she gets that extended range, which is going to feel very, very good on this champion when she's trying to get distance from things like the Olaf and from the Kaisa that'll be jumping in.
Speaking of distance, Freshburger is so far behind enemy lines right now. What the heck is he doing?
Yep, Call of the Forge God couldn't come out, but it's going to miss here with the dash coming up from the Shen. You have to be careful, though. Reel's there, waiting in the wings. I do know, Roasted is the tank. He's got the completed ninja tabbies, but I would not put anything past this Kindred paired up with the Shen. Have to be careful there. And Roasted not going to over-chase there for a kill that, probably is not going to go his way. So good game sense there coming from the top laner of Divine Ascension Gaming. Overall, though, let's do a little CS check all the way down the line here. Fairly even up towards the top side of the map. A couple assists going on over to the Shen, but now we have a dive, actually. Gank here coming from the bot side of the map. Divine Ascension Gaming not going to be able to find that one as the Glacial Fissure comes out for the disengage. And that is good pressure absorbed here from the side of World Class Outlaws.
Yeah, and that brings me back to something I wanted to talk about before. While JP was able to turn that last gank into a double kill, it was only because female support had enough wherewithal to be able to make sure that JP survived long enough to be able to do that. Just a really great play from both of them. And as you were talking about assists, they tried to make some more happen, but I think it's going to happen right now.
Yep, the fight looking to ensue here. They have the damage. Female support going on in there. Looking for another death. Nice knock-up, though, coming in from Roasted. Able to find multiple ones. The Lammer Spike going to get called down here. The health bar is just not low enough here. World-class Outlaws in some trouble. The jungler falling now. They're going to trade one over there. Roasted going to find his death here. The Tingle Barbs landing onto JDK. The damage follow-up, not quite enough. Nico going to get stunned up here. It is a standstill. Control of the river going slightly over to the side of Divine Ascension Gaming. The health bar is relatively even on both sides, however. Female support, though, a little bit low, but nice poke damage coming out here from the Nico and the Zillion, respectively. Both sides might not even go for the dragon here. I don't think there's a clear winner here. We just had a bunch of fighting there in the river, and then the team's deciding to back up off here. So both teams not trying to take any unnecessary risks. JDK gonna find Shot, trying to put down some vision, but yeah, it's gonna take a bomb for his time and walk away.
Yeah, and already we're seeing so much damage coming out from JDK. We were talking a little bit before the game. I thought this one was going to go down to the mid lanes. As long as Kathy doesn't get too fed, it feels like it's going to be down to who has the better burst. And right now, it's feeling like JDK. Both have their first items completed. He went for Rod of Ages. He's slowly scaling up that ability power, but it looks like both teams are going to come back, and Divine is going to try and take Dragon once again.
Yep, both the top laners will be out of this fight here. Now towards the bot side, Dazzle, though, going to land onto Reels. He's going to get instantly popped, and the Olaf be traded as well. Call of the Forge God now, though, getting called up towards the top side of the map. It's going to completely miss. Freshburger sees a solo kill in his eyes. One more auto should be able to do it if he can close the distance here. Flash coming out from Roast does not get away, though. There it is. Freshburger able to wrap that one up with a flash of his own. Mountain Dragon priority, though. Got to go right on over to the side of World Class Outlaws.
He tried to flash and dash, but he only got to the flash. And while that was happening, that was important pressure that Freshburger was putting down onto Roasted. Roasted couldn't have gotten down anyway, but Freshburger actually could have and helped his team. But instead, he knew that his team was going to be just fine. Push that top lane, get him out. He's going to lose his tower in the process. That was the first tower of the game to go down, but it's going to be traded for the Mountain Drake. And right now, that Shen is looking just a tiny bit scarier. That Braum going to look a lot scarier with a Mountain Drake behind them. And we actually are going to go into the Infernal, which I love to see. If Divine gets all 4 Infernals going into a Soul, that turns out a lot better for them in this game. Right now, though, I think you were right in that pre-game. I think Outworld just has a little bit more pressure here.
Just slightly, you know, I mean, they have the neutral objectives, which are going to feel really, really good. It's going to actually be able to kind of even up the gold differential that you're seeing between the Ornn and the Shen. Shen currently about 400 gold, 500 gold behind the Ornn. That really does get made up for. Now, towards the bottom side of the map here, Shot, though, gonna find his mark, gonna be able to get the passive stack down onto female support, having to flash out, but the Graviton able to get the stun. Do they have the damage? The Moonlight Vigil will find the pop with the Infernum, and that's the kill going on over to the side of World Class Outlaws with a nice gank and Shen ultimate there coming down to be able to find the kills. Reels, though, looking for the turret dive. This could be devastating. Graviton once again gonna find the lockdown. Aphelios taking up the turret there. Good management from turret aggro there. What a dive coming out from World Class Outlaws. You really have to hand it to this squad, showing their mechanical micro play coming off to a T.
But while that micro play is getting shown off, the macro play of Divine is in full swing. They're going to take the Rift Herald again. It was worth about 2 kills to them. It's because it turns into 2 kills and at least 1 turret. They're going to take that first turret. They actually are going to back off here. Let Shelly go off on her merry way. But I think that's about even. 2 kills for a Herald and a full mid-tier turret. They're up 2 turrets now. They're down a little bit in gold, surprisingly, but that's only because they're also down in their kills. Really, they need to start playing for picks a little bit.
Yeah, they need to try and find those advantages, right, around these neutral objectives. You know, good onus from the side of Divine Ascension Gaming, right? They see the bot lane, they see that they have a clear numbers disadvantage, and they immediately respond by taking their neutral objective to get some of that gold back, right? The side of World Class Outlaws, unfortunately, also able to trade that bottom turret as well. So, you know, able to kind of move the needle slightly again, maybe in their favor. But overall, you know, you take a look at the gold here. It's only about 1,700 gold, right? Both of these teams very much still in it here. And if the late game scaling from the side of Divine Ascension Gaming is able to come online, when you consider that the Ornn will be able to upgrade some of these items coming out of this Divine Ascension Gaming squad, it really can make up for what might be a couple thousand gold in the hole, just out of ornament item upgrades alone.
Yep, and that is another thing we weren't thinking about there. With those ornaments coming in the next 3 levels, hopefully Divine is able to bring something back here. But speaking of bringing it back...
Yep, there's the Glacial Fissure coming on out. Gonna use the Killer Instinct to find a little bit of distance there. The teleport coming out from JDK on the Zillion is going to be able to get himself safety here, but Flash coming out and the slows coming in. The Call of the Forge God will knock you up, and Freshburger introduced to the bounce house will fall to Yoko Kurama here on the Olaf. The Dazzle not going to quite land onto Chris Meltzer. Tangle Barbs will, and that's one dead but resurrected 16 JP. Kaisa here coming back in, the Pop Blossom, and the invulnerability. It was huge, but the power of Aphelios is larger. Double kill now for Kathy here in the mid lane, able to get the damage off, and that is a one-team fight here for the side of World Class Outlaws.
So that's exactly what I was talking about in that earlier gank. JP, he goes to chase Chris for some reason, forgetting that Chris is in fact Nico, and that Nico's team is right behind her. That I don't know why he wanted to engage that so hard, and for his trouble, 2 ultimates had to be used to try and keep him alive. Neither one was able to do it though. World Class knew what they had to do. They collapsed in on JP. They were able to make that kill happen. It was just so much to try and keep him alive.
Absolutely, and let's do a quick ultimate check here, right? Call the Forge God, done, right? The ultimate coming out from the Taric for invulnerability, done. You'll have the Ragnarok, you'll have the Chrono Ship here for this dragon fight, but you have the Lamb's Respite, the Shen ultimate, and the Nico Pop Blossom as well for the damage. So, you know, they don't have a lot of engage options here from the side of Divine Ascension Gaming. They're looking to contest this one, though. Shen will use the ultimate down onto Reels here. The Smite, though, gonna go on over to the side of Yoko Kurama, able to steal that one away, able to prevent the Soul. Huge damage, though, now coming out from the Aphelios, able to get multiple targets with this damage, having the IE completed. Now, 5-0-5, able to find the kills, and they trade 3-4-1. But the Smite does go on over to the side of Divine Ascension Gaming. You have to... The question mark, though, arises here. Arza Kelly, do they just go for the Baron? They have the damage.
I think they do. I think they're going full send on this Baron. And now this is a game, ladies and gentlemen. Infernal fight into a great steel smite, into a 3-kill count, and a Baron to top it off. And now JDK is trying to stop it from happening. He's throwing in the bombs. The Baron's got them low. The bomb's about to go off. It's not doing enough, though, because it was on fresh. Female support going to go down. And now JD has to run for his life. Yoko Kurama coming in behind. His Ragnarok's not back up yet, but he is still going to try and pull them off. He's not going to be able to. Here's the Orn Horn. And, oh, it's just not going to be enough damage to save him.
What a fight there. I cannot believe it. I mean, you take a look at it, right? Immediately, right? Dragon doesn't go their way. It gets smited away, but they win the team fight, right? And I was sitting there watching the Baron health bar literally just disappearing, right? Just absolutely being burned down as quick as you can imagine here. And just with that amount of pressure, right? Zillion, he tries his best to be able to get the bombs in there. He gets a nice stun onto the Shen. But unfortunately, just not enough to damage or delay in that time to be able to get themselves any kind of one fight. Ornn having to come in late, calls in the Call of the Forge God, maybe a little bit in vain, but still, Baron going on over to the side of World Class Outlaws. They're going to be able to have pressure with the Shen up in the top side of the map. He has his teleport available, and they're going to be able to push multiple lanes here.
Yep, and just to focus a little bit on the micro there was a move that Chris Meister pulled with the Nico up in the top jungle there where he sent it to chase after JP to make him think that was happening, but he was actually looking for Yoko Kurama. Yoko did get away from that one, but that was just, it's a great understanding of Nico and her toolkit, and that's something we've been seeing all throughout the game. Chris Meister making some amazing plays, good pop blossoms, good disengages, good re-engages, just really some great stuff coming out of him and really his whole team this game.
And honestly really is. You look at the team fight capability here from the side of World Class Outlaws, it really, really is strong. They just have so much ability to not only engage, but also disengage as well, with the Braum particularly. Aphelios, if he's able to get the Moonlight Vigil with Gravitum, he's able to get huge roots down. A lot of this just really kind of comes down to the team compositions that have been drafted here, and the lack of early game that went the way of Divine Ascension Gaming. But now, Freshburger, Call the Forge God, gonna get called out. He's gonna get knocked up here. Olaf looking for the kills, does not have Flash available, and that's a Blast Cone out for Freshburger, able to get himself away. Absorbing the pressure of the Olaf and of the Ornn means that they have mid lane priority here. That's going to be a tower going down in their favor, able to easily pick that one up here. Ornn, no Call of the Forge God available, so he doesn't really have a whole lot of options here, and that's just going to be a disengage.
Yep, and like I was saying earlier with that Mountain Drake, that Shen looks scary, and he is indeed. He still hasn't even really built any armor items, but so little damage is being taken there. It almost feels like he's got a full stack of armor already. Instead, all he has is a little bit of magic resist, which is a little bit odd, but not really. Most of the damage coming out from the side of Divine is from JDK and JP, and most of that is going to be attack or magic damage. JDK really doing the most damage right now, and all of that is magic. That's probably what he was planning for, and it is paying off in these team fights. You're not seeing JDK be able to put down as much burst as he wants. Freshburger is running headfirst into those bombs. He wants them to attach to his cap so that they can blow up and do nothing. 0 things are done when that bomb explodes, and that's exactly what they need to happen there on the side of World Class.
Indeed here. The Adaptive Helm actually coming in for Shen here, which, might seem kind of troll at first, but it actually does protect you quite well from the Kaisa Qs if you are isolated, and additionally the Zillion Bombs as well. So really itemizing properly for this match, for this setup. And overall, I mean, you take a look now, we do have this Infernal Dragon that's getting ready to spawn here in 10 seconds. The priority and the control has gone over to the side of World Class Gaming, but we might just see a fight here. There it is coming in. The Ragnarok gonna have to be popped here from the Olaf. Yoko Kurama does not want any of that. The engage that comes out from this squad can be absolutely devastating when you have this GLP and the spooky ghosts from this Nico. Call the Forge God now, though, gonna get called in here. It's going to only land on the reels, but the rest of the team is not there. Pop Blossom able to find big damage here, and the ultimate from Tarek now coming on down, trying to get them back to safety. Roasted will fall, and that's the kill going the way of World Class Outlaws. The Winter's Bite landing onto JDK, but he will be able to speed himself up, out, and away. And ladies and gentlemen, Blast Cone gonna get called out here. There is no entrance mechanism for Yoko Kurama. He's gonna have to walk the long way around. The bombs from Zillion, can it be enough? And no, Aphelios able to find the Dragon here. Able to get that one picked up here, and now on Soul Point for World Class Outlaws.
Yep, you saw the axe go in, you saw the bombs come down. They thought that might be enough damage to secure it. Speaking of things being secured, JDK is securely in the middle of World Class's team. He's going to have to ult himself, but he's just going to go down. Female support getting chased down now. Oh no!
Could be bad. Olaf gonna sacrifice his life there. Kathy now dominating, picking up his 6th kill of the game on 200 years of League Champion design experience. Able to pick that kill up. There's now 2 members of this Divine Ascension Gaming duo gone. Able to find the dive now here under the turret. Lamb's Respite, though, going to be able to save the rest of the members. Freshburger in there. Deep shot, though, following up here. Able to provide the safety for his top lane tank. Finding the kills there. The near ace, the only defender now. 16 JP on the Kaisa. The mid-tier 3 is going to fall, and that will be the inhibitor. And World Class Outlaws backing off after a very extended team fight there. Picking up that mid lane prio with those inhibitors falling.
Yep, and we will see them go all the way back to Baron. They knew that they wanted to push that turret as the Baron was coming up. And Divine commands no respect in this game right now. No respect at all. They're down 10,000 gold at 26 minutes. They're down 15 kills at 27 minutes. They're down 2 Barons now and 3 Drakes, and they're all just gonna back, reset, and we're going to do this all again. This is going to be very clean. We're just gonna do it again. Just like that. That's exactly what World Class is saying right now. If I had access to their comms, I guarantee you, in fact, I would bet good money on it. That's exactly what they're saying. Let's just do that again, boys.
And how are you gonna stop the squad? The Nico with this this Glacial Augment build, right? She's got the Spooky Ghost, got the GOP. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but it's so crucial, right? This Olaf just gets slowed, right? Or the support gets caught out, or Roasted just cannot move. And they're able to find these picks effectively before the rest of this Divine Ascension Gaming squad is really able to react. I mean, in that last team fight, we saw Roasted so far forward, right? The Lamb's Respite able to come down and save multiple members, and he just got absolutely deleted. It didn't matter. There's just so much damage that comes out from this squad with the Nico being able to go in and get the huge Pop Blossom off, with the Aphelios able to free fire from the back line. It just really becomes difficult for them to be able to kind of fight front to back.
Yep, and another thing I'm noticing with Divine here is they've got a weird prioritization of resources. A couple of times now, they've tried to find Freshburger out in his own little side lane. Roasted and Yoko Kurama trying to get in on that at the same time, and now we see the results of that. Yoko just finally gets back to base to try and defend that inhibitor. The inhibitor cannot be defended, though. It does go down very quickly, and now Freshburger, sitting a good 3 levels above his opponent, is pushing in on that bottom tower, and he's going to get surrounded here.
Yep, there it is. Glacial Fissure going to find the knock up there. That's one dead Ornn. He just hit level 14, Arcalezi. He just hit level 14, right? At 29 minutes in the game, that is not where you want your Ornn to be. He's not been able to upgrade anybody's items here. There's the Pop Blossom, though, gonna land and do big damage here to a female support. The Taric, though, with the ultimate gonna come down here, able to try and find some restitution for the damage here. Reels, though, drop the Lamb's Respite, will protect him from the turret shots. And the aggro gonna go on over, able to manage that there effectively. Chris Miser with the bombs on his head does go golden to be able to avoid the damage and the death. The Moonlight Vigil, though, they're able to land and get some big damage off. The health bar is just way too low, and these Nexus turrets have fallen. The Nexus, ladies and gentlemen, will go down as well, and that will be a world-class Outlaws victory in dominating fashion.
Yep, that one looked just so bad. I was so confident in Divine coming into this. I thought it was going to be a hard match, but I thought they were going to pull this one out. But no, just every step of the way. And it kind of felt like it was that Kai'Sa pick. They didn't have enough control over their bot lane. They didn't really have enough control in the jungle either. One of the only reasons you can take Olaf into this matchup with Kindred is because he can abuse the jungle, take the camps, make sure she can't get any marks. But I believe at the end of the game, she was still up to like 7 marks. That's no good. And Yoko just did not have enough control over his jungle. JDK felt like a little bit of a mispick as well against it. I almost want to say this one was lost in the draft. It definitely wasn't won there.
Yeah. And I do just want to give a shout out there to the Last Hit Gods for rating us with a party of 24, and to Diatrupa there rating us with a party of 13. Thank you all very much, and welcome here to the XLNC mid testing grounds here, where we just saw in game number 2 here, Divine Ascension Gaming falling to a dominating performance here from world-class Outlaws. I mean, you really just do have to hand it to them overall here. Roasted on the orange was not able to get his levels fast enough to be able to have any late game scaling power from the Ornn. I mean, he hit level 14 and then was dead, and then the rest of World Class Outlaws was just running it into the base with super minions in every lane.
Yep, as the resident Ornn main, the slave to the meta himself, that feels bad, man. You can't even get one ornament down, one upgrade delivered before the end of the game. He didn't even get himself a single kill, and that's just kind of the story. Speaking of kills, 2 people who never died, Kathy and Chris Meister. You would have believed that they had a zillion on their team watching their backs, but instead, no, it was just the outplays helping them out there.
It absolutely was. And ladies and gentlemen, with the conclusion here of game number 2, we're going to be getting ourselves ready here for game number 3, which will be World Class Outlaws versus Ironic. We're going to flip it on over to a quick intermission, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not go anywhere. Do not change that browser. And we will be back for the next round of draft. Ladies and gentlemen, see you on the flip side.